ready.
Did
you like it? Did y'all like that? I hope you liked it.
Nick style, that raw.
Justin, you don't really particularly like it, but he's
I
got
do.
to deal with it.
I do, you know. I got a little Slipknot in the blood and some System of a Down, shit like that, you know.
Okay, you had me at Slipknot and kind of lost me at System of a Down. They're okay.
You know, I don't listen to the crazy shit you do now. I don't.
No, you don't.
The bands you name out, I don't even know. I'm like, what is that?
I'm so like Infant Annihilator and Waking the Cadaver, and he's like,
already lost.
I don't want to annihilate infants. What? It's metal, bro. It's metal. But welcome everybody to episode 38. We got Kevin Arbogast backstage. I hope to God I said that right. Terrible with names. We had Ben Saldivar on one night, and it took me 10 minutes to get his name right. I had to say it like I was introducing a magician. So, yeah, hell yeah. We're on Instagram right now. Everybody on Instagram, bring your ass over to YouTube, and you don't want to miss this. This is going to be a really awesome show. We got species on here that we've never talked about before, and I am looking forward to it. And we got a bunch of comments, but first, we're going to run through some commercials. Then we're going to bring our guest of honor out. We're going to get into this. So y'all ready for that? Don't forget, RWO, HP60, 60 days free. Husbandry Pro, baby.
What you know about that? Go use your code HP60. Get your 60 days on us. I mean, you'd be dumb not to get 60. That's free.
Free money. Pretty much free money, essentially.
Free.
What is it? You know, if you look at the monthly fees for it, I mean, you might as well. And while you're at it, go check out Reptile Ads. This is that new.
ReptileAds.com is the modern marketplace for buying and selling reptiles, amphibians, and exotic pets. Built by Purple Turtle Technologies, we're creating the most trusted platform in the industry. Join thousands of breeders and collectors on the most trusted reptile marketplace. List your animals, connect with buyers, and grow your business with Reptile Ads. Enjoy our easy access to stores as well as a genetic calculator for your convenience. Stop by and check us out today.
Let's go. Reptile Ads. I think it's free right now to even post your ads.
I'm pretty sure it is. I'm pretty sure it's still
another free one. You know, come on, guys.
You know,
it won't be for long. I know that. So you might as well get your opportunity in it while you can.
That's it. And we got a couple more commercials, but I can't wait. So we're not going to bore you anymore. We're going to go ahead and bring our guest up. We'll run through some comments, and then I want to know some stuff. So here we go. Everybody give them a big round of applause. Come on. Did I say it right? Is it Arbogast?
Yeah, you got it right. Perfect, yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yep.
What's up, man? What you drinking on down there?
One of my favorite beers is Dragon's Milk. I'm a stout guy. I really love stout beers. And this is actually a Dragon's Milk Reserve coffee and chocolate stout.
It's a reserve. Let me see the label. Oh, I've never had that kind. I've definitely had that.
I've literally never seen it. I went to the store just to get some regular Dragon's Milk, and I saw that, and I was like, oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, I'm drinking a banquet cures.
Nice.
You know, I'm keeping it simple tonight. I'm doing the KISS method lately with this case of beer, but usually I drink IPAs. I'll drink what is it? Stout at the Devil. It's
oh, really?
Damn, I forget the name of the brewery, but there's a brewery in North Alabama that makes it, and it's they're damn good. It's not Good People, but it's some brewery, you know, like microbrewery.
Yeah.
And they got Stout at the Devil. It's got like the dude from the band. What is it? That did Shout at the Devil. Fuck,
Oh,
who is
Motley
it?
Crue.
Motley Crue. Yeah, it's got him on it. Like he looks like the devil. And
Okay.
it's badass, bro. It tastes. It's kind of like the Dragon's Milk. It's that type of
Yeah.
dark, milky stout.
Yeah.
Get you hammered in like 2 beers.
Yeah, because like this one's like 11%.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, hell yeah. Well, we'll run
That's
through
what I
the
like though, the
comments.
imperial stouts, man. I like that bitter.
Yeah, I do
strong
like the
flavor.
bitter sometimes.
Yeah.
What's up, Tara? She's
up,
been
Tara?
very loyal lately. She's been on every pop up, everything we've done. What's up, Tara? Thank you.
Come on.
G Paul.
Got Mitzi. What's up, Mitzi?
Oh, don't forget about Jamie.
Oh, Jamie Tired, guys. I was getting there. I seen
What's
the other
up,
one.
baby?
For me, but I got you. The Transfer Fairy, Rhonda.
Hey, girl.
Got Kiko, the plant. man.
Kiko.
Actually, Kiko, I went to the flea market today and saw some sweet ass pitcher plants. I mean, the amount of pictures that were all on, I was like, oh my gosh,
You gotta pick one up, dude.
it's pretty cool.
What's
Karina,
up, wife of G Paul?
come on.
Good to see
Got
you.
Val. What up, Val? Got Benjay.
All the
He's
way from New Zealand. That's what I'm talking about. I'll cheers to you, Benji.
all the way over from New Zealand. Got
Did I
Keys.
say New Zealand or New Jersey? What did I say?
It's New Zealand. I hope we didn't say New Jersey because I ain't where he's at. What
That's
up, Keys?
good.
The homie for sure. Got Bosa.
Bosa, good to see you.
Butterfly
Bosa's our
Blue.
blood guy that is in the group that we all talk to, and we all hang out in Daytona and shit, and we talk all the time. But he's our blood guy. He's got some cool blood, so I'm excited to have you on just for him. Period. Really.
Yeah,
Good to hear
I've
about
seen
it.
some of his Sumatran short tails. They're killer looking.
Hell
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
And actually, Bosa, you just
stuff.
you went to the show this weekend, and if I'm correct, I seen some sweet new enclosures you got going on over there, homie. Hell yeah, some upgrades. Let's go.
Hell yeah. And we got some exciting news too. I seen a post that we'll get into later that our guest down there posted right before the show.
Oh, yeah.
And that's pretty cool, you know.
Oh yeah. Stoked.
Yeah, so we'll get into that here in a little bit. So bro, what's your deal? You know, tell us who you are, where you at, what you're into, man.
I mainly boas and pythons. That's my big thing. I'm pretty like I'm pretty very into different variety. So I don't have like one specific thing I'm focused in on. I would say that like most of my group, I'd say like a third of my group is blood pythons, a third are boa constrictor morphs, and then like the other third is like Indo-Australian pythons and stuff like that. So
Okay.
and
Wow.
yeah, I get started in 1990, so
I seen the picture when you was a kid and you had your ball python, bro. That was
Yeah.
pretty sick, you know.
Yeah, that was a long time ago, but
I stalk
Yeah,
our
so-
guests on their Instagram before they come on the show, by the way. Don't get weirded out.
yeah, no, I got you, I got you, but yeah, no, yeah, I started, with my first, imported adult ball python, had all the problems that come with them, quickly moved, like
Especially
we did things-
keeping in the 90s.
huh? Oh yeah.
Well, yeah, I talk about it all the time
literally-
about how keeping in the 90s is so much different, right, than
100%.
now. You would get
100%, like,
freaking shunned from the hobby if you did that stuff now. Heat Rock, go to
yeah,
hell, Heat Rock.
100%.
You know, like
Yep. Yeah, it's a different world back then, you just didn't have the technology. Like I loved the freedom that we had back then. And we definitely did things differently. I think we were a little more about like going, we were not mainstream, so kind of going against the grain. I think a lot of keepers, wanted to test their own boundaries and stuff like that. And I still kind of have that in me. I'm not real good at following like, the so-called playbook and stuff like that. I tend to use my own instincts a lot. Like my second snake was a retic. After having that ball python for a month and a half, I just, I wanted something that would actually eat for a change.
Right.
Thing.
Right.
Because that was something we had to deal with back then. The adults, you get these big adults, pay $100 for big adult ball python, and it just wouldn't feed. So, but I was just fascinated by retics and all the stuff, that you heard in the books, all this stuff that cautioned you. Well, that just made me want to keep them even more, honestly.
Right.
But really, it was those orange eyes, and I got it as a juvenile, a 3-footer, and I just grew with it,
Come
and
on.
grew quick because he did
I
too.
say grew quick for sure, huh?
Yeah, and then that just kind of started it. Back then, a lot of the stuff we kept most of it was all wild stuff. The only thing that was like a morph was my first morph was like an albino Burmese that I got in '92.
Hell yeah.
And that was the first year I also went to the National Reptile Breeders Expo, which is now in Daytona. Back then it was in Orlando. So that kind of going to that opened up a whole world of like new species and, new morphs and stuff. That year I saw the first ever produced albino boa. Pete Call had those with him. And also Bob Clark had the first albino ball pythons.
Yeah. I
And
was
that's
gonna
one of
say,
the reasons why.
that was about the time when he had the albino balls. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
That was
Same
around the
time.
time my dad bought our iguana when I was a kid. That was my introduction to reptiles, right?
Yeah.
I had a leopard gecko when I was probably 93 or 94
Yeah.
or however old I was when I was like 4 or 5, right?
Yeah.
I'm not good with numbers, but I know that
When you crawl around the house,
that lizard was happy, but that iguana was badass, bro. Like my parents were split up, so I had my gecko at my mom's, and then I'd go to my dad's, and he had a free range iguana that was like 4.5 foot long at the time in the apartment, just roaming the apartment, bro. And then he moved, and it got to be 6 foot long monster, but they were wild caught. The gecko wasn't wild caught, I imagine, but it was a wild type.
Yeah.
It wasn't like these crazy geckos you see now, leopard geckos.
Oh yeah. Yeah, 100%.
That's when you crawl around the house like a leopard gecko,
huh? Yeah, my gecko. Mommy. But yeah, no doubt. So what was your where did the want for you to want to start like breeding and doing all that? How did that come about?
I think it was started pretty early on. I would say that first Reptile Breeders Expo I went to, that really kind of opened my eyes to wanting to breed and stuff. But it took a while to get there.
Back then that shit was astronomically expensive.
Yeah, everything was like blackhead pythons then were like 15 grand each. Womas were like 7,500. Like
a normal ball python was a few $100, I would imagine.
No, they weren't too bad. Like in 1990, 92, like normal ball python. I mean, they certainly weren't like $5, but they were like you can get them for like 75 or whatever.
Oh, really?
There weren't many like actually captive bred ones. Most of them, and even early on, there weren't a lot of farm hatched ones either. It was what they would call bush babies that would come in, which is basically just juveniles.
That's right.
And then the adults and stuff like that. So.
Well, I know the pet store by my house was ripping people off because they was charging a lot for them normal baby balls.
Oh yeah,
a lot. Hell yeah! Like in Florida, in the early 90s. Hell yeah, they were.
Really? Wow.
They were ripping people off. I remember because I wanted it.
I think the further you get away from Florida, the more expensive things were back then.
I was in Atlanta, but
being in here in Florida, it was like I don't know, just had access to, less expensive animals.
So you're in Florida?
Like yeah, Central Florida. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at.
I'm right in between like Daytona and Orlando.
Okay, you're right. Then.
Yeah, so it's nice, being able to you get to Orlando really quick, and we like to go usually, once it's beach season, we're usually at Smyrna Beach at least.
Well, the rumor mill, something on the rumor mill's talking that
on my side. That's what I like. Come on.
They say Daytona this year and next year is the last year supposedly, and then who knows? Maybe it will go back to Orlando or something.
Like I think they said 2 to 3 more years of it.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I honestly don't know. This is actually going to be my first year vending. I've been going since '92, and this is actually
come on.
Well, you're going this year?
What's that?
You said you're going this year?
Yeah, we're going to be vending this year. Yeah,
I'm going to walk by your table and bug the shit out of you for about 5 minutes.
Hell yeah. That's what it's all about.
I love it.
And So yeah, we're looking forward to it. You know, I mean, in the past, like I've bred quite a few things, like mainly ball pythons, but also womas, children's pythons, and green tree pythons. In like the mid 2000s, and then I had to sell everything off in 2010. During that time, I never did a show because I never needed to. Everything sold on King Snake or Fauna classifieds, and
Fauna, that's what it
yeah,
is. I was trying to think of that the other day and I couldn't remember
yeah,
what it
Fauna.
was.
Look
Yep.
strong, baby.
Yeah, they used to have the BOI, the Border Inquiry, and yeah, that place was wild. And but
It's
yeah, I just
dark
never had a
red.
problem selling my surplus stuff on there. So I never had a desire to go, do a show. Now, since I've gotten back in after taking a few years off, I got back in around 2022. So it's been a little over 4 years now.
Nice.
Um, I want to do the shows just to hang out with
I
some of my
love
buddies
doing
and
shows, dude. I
you
love
know
doing shows. To me, when you can vend shows, that's what it's all about. Like,
yeah,
because you get to interact with the people,
yeah,
it's fun, dude. It's super fun to
yeah.
vend, in my opinion. I like it.
Yeah, we got to kind of get a taste of it about 2 years ago. We helped my buddy George out and worked at his table, and it kind of just let me know, hey, do I have the personality for this or not? And when it comes to talking snakes, I can just talk all day long. So
Well, there you
yeah, it
go.
was it was great. So yeah, so this year we would have done it last year, but honestly, we just didn't have enough animals that were ready in time. My boa litter dropped late, and that was really all we had was that boa litter and two ball python clutches. So this year is better. We're going in. We got blood pythons hatching out now. Looks like we've got a boa litter on the way. I have another girl that's actually ovulating today. I think I've got my blackhead python. I think she's gravid. She's just been ever since she shed. The male wants nothing to do with her, and she's in her hide box or in her nest box, just coiled up. And so I'm hoping, if
So
everything.
what was your first clutch?
My first clutch was in 2001, and it was a coastal carpet pairing.
Wow,
Right.
that's awesome, dude. So
Yeah,
you just went for it. You said fuck ball pythons, bro.
yeah. Well,
How
like I
many eggs
said,
was that
back
coastal?
then, I didn't really keep many ball pythons. Like throughout the '90s, I had them a couple times, but man, they always frustrated me. I always had feeding issues with them, with the bush babies and stuff. And I just was like,
And
I,
maybe it was the keeping and where they came from.
Yep.
You
yeah,
know,
yeah.
maybe.
I think it was a little bit of both. I mean, I knew what I was doing. I
No,
just had to
not that
work.
you didn't
I just had
know
to
what
work
you were
smarter.
doing, but like we say, if you like me, I had a heat rock and sand with my leopard gecko, bro. I
Yeah,
fed
no.
Yeah,
on sand, I mean,
yeah.
it is what it is. Kill me, sue me,
No,
whatever. But
yeah,
it's
no. I
like,
was the same.
you can only do what are told, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So, you know,
Exactly. Yeah,
so
no, that first ball
Right.
python setup was a straight 20-gallon aquarium with a hot rock and the uh the plastic fake grass
yeah, the
carpet
fake
there.
carpet,
Oh
yeah.
yeah. Yeah, full deal. But
With a
yeah, no,
heat
I just
light, no
yeah,
humidity.
yep, yep, yep. And that's
They
how I
come
get
from Africa. There's no humidity in
yeah,
Africa. It's dry
yeah,
and hot.
yeah. You like with my coastals, I still used a heat lamp back then. Even in the early 2000s, I wasn't using heat panels or anything like that. So through her whole gestation period, um, she was just getting heat during the day. She would just sit on top of her nest box and she would just soak up the heat, and then heat went off at night. And I had no problems um, getting her to go. She dropped, it was her first clutch, and she dropped like 20 plus,
Come
um,
on.
which was
Come on.
nice. Did not
Come
hatch them
on.
all out though. This is back in these days. I had a Hoover. That's what I used for my incubator, and didn't really understand the concept of the whole nest box thing. So I literally just put all the vermiculite in the Hoover with the eggs in them, and that fan and that heating element, man. The whole top of the clutch was dried out. Those eggs are all
Damn.
dried out.
Damn, man.
But the ones on the bottom hatched out, so I did get some, probably like around 11 or so.
Let's
So that
go.
was
Let's
that was
go.
my first learning experience. So,
yeah, mistake you made that you're like, all right, well, I won't do that one again. You know,
Yeah, I don't mean to laugh, but it's
Yep.
like it's one of them moments. I laugh at
Oh.
myself all the time, you know.
100%. Yeah,
so
definitely.
I've definitely made some
You gotta
mistakes.
laugh to keep
Yeah.
from crying, Justin.
Yeah.
You know.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Kevin,
then-
so when did you
Yeah.
get into the Bloods?
My first short-tail pythons are actually Borneos. I got a pair of hatchling Borneo short-tails. Back then, we called them Borneo Bloods.
Okay,
In 1993 from Crutchfield's. I
let's
lived
go.
about an hour and a half away from Tom Crutchfield's place in Lake Panasoffkee. So I would go down there like from like 92 to 97. I
Hell
would
yeah.
go down there probably at least once a month. I sometimes I go there every other week. It was like an hour and a half drive down there. So I just sometimes I just go check stuff out. They were really cool. I got to know David Fowler pretty decent. He was the manager. Um, Adam before David was really cool too, and yeah, I just had a good time and it exposed me to a lot of different animals, and that's one of the reasons why I never really got into breeding. Like for the first 10 years, I kept because I was just so there were so many species that I was interested in that it was like I was renting snakes. It was like I go down to Crutchfields, I get like, white lip python, emerald tree boa, whatever, and then I keep them for like, anywhere between a year and a half. Some of them only like 6 months, and then I take something and trade it back in.
Like, hey, bro, can I trade this in for this now?
Yeah, exactly. So
That's how
yeah,
it is
so
at
that
shows. Most shows that I've in, at the end of the show, everybody that's vending, especially around you, because you've done talk to them for either 2 days or 6 hours. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So you got to know them.
Yeah.
They got to know you. And at the end of the show, they'll be like, "Hey, man, I want that." That's how I got my Asian water monitor. This lady walked up to me. I had a breeder, super pin champagne female ball python that's proven breeder. She bred for me. I had the babies there, and she wanted to trade that monitor for that snake, and I was like, "Yes, please."
Yeah.
You know, that was
Yeah.
my dream lizard always.
My African gray, I traded.
That's what I'm getting at. Like you, Justin. Everybody trades, right? Like Justin traded those fucking badass rhino iguanas for that badass bird.
African gray. I got African gray.
Yeah,
I got my sweet ass bird.
And real quick, we had Jay pop in. I want to give a shout out real quick to our veterans and our first responders. Everybody go to www.thefatmannation.com and get your swag. 100% of the proceeds goes to just that, your first responders and your veterans. Camp Freedom. So everybody do that. Get your swag.
Let's go.
So Bloods. I want to talk about Bloods because I don't know jack crap about them, right? I want to talk
so
about
misunderstood.
Yeah, well, I want to. What is a BCI and a BCC or BCI-CCC, or is that the same thing? I don't even know. So we're gonna get
boa
into it.
constrictors. You're
Yeah, that's bogus. I know, but I'm saying like the damn. What is it? You said something about a karma blood, and you also had
that's a morph. So a karma is it's a visual double het for T positive albino and T negative, but there's a separate gene that we believe is allelic with the T pos side. Some of the genetics around it are still a little confusing, but how it reproduces is pretty simple. Basically, say you take a T pos to a T negative, all the babies are going to come out and they're all going to be double hets, but not all double het blood pythons are karmas. They have to have that extra gene on there, tailing on. And if you look at a regular blood python, it's going to look pretty red. Whereas you look at the karmas, they basically look orange.
Okay.
Yeah, they look orange, and then just
so
really
it's kind of a niche community, like because you got to know this stuff. Like it's very you got to be kind of intelligent to know that.
Yeah,
it seems like blood pythons are a real tight knit community.
Very. And that's a good thing. It's honestly, it's the only Facebook group that I actually post in. I actually just joined Facebook, like I think 2 years ago.
I just joined again like 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, I wanted to see what the groups were like because I'm from the time period when we had all the forums. You know, we had the King Snake forums. We had, you know, you had the ballpythons.net forum. You had, which my personal favorite one was the Bush League Breeders Club forum that was headed by Larry
I remember,
Sells and
I remember a lot of those forums that you're talking about, and I was just not a forum guy. Like I didn't like it because it was a lot of conflicting information, bro.
What's that?
Which social media is conflicting information regardless. Let's just be real.
Yeah.
But like you can actually on social media, you can actually voice your opinion with your image and not in a forum. And it's somebody just typing and you don't know if they're serious or not or whatever, you know, the case is.
But that's the difference. That's the difference with the forums as opposed to the Facebook groups right now. The Facebook groups, you're getting, you know, the person that picks up their ball python for the first day can go right to Facebook and find a ball python group. In order to find, like, King Snake was a little bit more common, so it would have some of those issues. But man, to find something like the Bush League Breeders Club forum, you had to be in the hobby. You had to be a hardcore keeper and breeder, and you know the people that were in that group were solid. You know, you didn't have a lot of the stuff that I see in like the Facebook groups that just it's just frustrating. It's just
I just remember I used to just
vibe, man.
I always went for my information in magazines. You know, what is it, Reptiles magazine? I would go to bookstore and they'd have the magazine shelf, you know, and I would always gravitate toward those magazines. And
and
I feel like that's
great for that.
They had good information, right, in the magazines. I feel like that was where it was kind of scientifically backed, kind of. It wasn't just forums where people, and I'm not a part of any of those Facebook groups. I have, you know, group chats on Instagram, of course, everybody does, but I don't have any of them on Facebook. I'm trying not to do that on Facebook. I don't want to be a part of that fucking, everybody says it's toxic on Facebook.
What I've seen from it, it's pretty bad. Yeah, it's I don't know. There's a lot of groupthink that goes on, and I'm not real big with that because if you don't try new things, if you don't kind of venture out, and you know, then
Justin, how is he gonna bring that up right now? And he's like a preacher on Sunday service talking directly to you. He's talking about change and everything, man. This is crazy.
Change is good, homie.
Yeah, okay. I just wanted to point that out to Justin. That freaked me out for a second. But yeah, change is good, and you know, not being a part of a clique.
Yeah, I'm not real good with the clique thing.
Cliques are good, but cliques are good only if they're not toxic, right? Like if everybody in the clique is supportive and trying to uplift everybody, and it's obvious. Shout out to the RWO family. It's cool, but like if you're in a clique where they're just gonna, you know, talk shit to you because you're keeping it the wrong way. A good clique, for instance, is somebody saying, well, this is the way that I do it, and I think it would help you. Right. I'm here, you know, like I'm here to help you instead of I'm here to judge you, right?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Like you're a fucking idiot. You're doing that fucking wrong. You should be doing it this way, you know. And you're like, huh? Wait, what? I mean, you could have said that a little bit nicer.
You catch more flies with honey than vinegar, bro. I say it all the time. If you're nice, they'll listen to your opinions and they'll do it. But if you're an asshole, they're gonna brush you off.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. Luckily, I'm at the experience level and the age level that I just don't give a crap anymore. Like I'm like, if anyone was to, I know there's some people that probably think I feed my animals too much. I think there's a lot of people that don't feed their animals enough, but I don't say anything to them. That's the way they keep. That's their style.
We all get hate.
More power to you. You know,
everyone that keeps reptiles is going to get hate, no matter if they're like. I get hate for this right here.
Yeah.
I get hate for everything we do as ball python breeders. As ball python breeders, bro, we catch the fucking the bottom of the barrel insults, bro. Like they rip them out from the gutter, and it's kind of degrading, but it's like at the same time, it's like this is the way that we know does good for these animals. Screw you. And like you said, I'm at that age too, where I'm just like, yeah, whatever. You want to act like you know, woe is me in a group chat. I'm gonna kick you if I'm the admin. I don't give a shit. You know? I'm gonna go get a beer on that.
Yeah.
So Kevin, you did the carpet. You did the carpets. You did coastals actually first. Did you
Yeah.
keep doing the carpets for a while, or what? How did you go with that? Did you end up going on to any different species of the carpets? Did you go to Brettles? Did you go to diamonds at all, or what?
I actually just recently picked up some diamonds,
Let's
but
go.
coastals are
Let's
just
go.
coastals are my favorite. You know, it comes from watching a lot of like, I love Australian saltwater crocodiles. I watch a lot of, documentaries like back in the day on salties and stuff, and I don't know, just always seeing the coastal carpets. They just they just fascinate me.
They're sick.
They don't have the bright colors of the jungles or anything like that, but to me the earth tones on them are just amazing. If you really
I
just
mean,
take
you get what, like a caramel. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, yeah.
You know,
But
that's got
you're
the
talking
orange and your
Justin's
gold. You
ears
know,
are perked up because he's getting
I
into
love
that
carpets.
stuff.
I just recently got some. I got a coastal. I got a Brettle, and I'm working
Nice.
next. Well, I got a Brettle and
Poplin.
Poplin coming. Well, I got a
Yeah.
Brettle coming. I got Poplin, but I'm working on some diamonds next. But
Nice.
you're in Florida, just like me, and I gotta ask,
Mhm.
like, because I know when I get my diamonds, I'm actually gonna keep mine outside. I'm gonna have outside
Yeah.
enclosures for them and keep them. Are you gonna try to do the same thing or what?
No, I'm not.
No.
I'm in a suburban neighborhood, and
Oh,
no,
okay. I got
I
you.
would not trust. I would not trust them out
Right.
there. They would. No, no. No, but I'll
Yeah.
have them set. I'll have them set up, and right now they're in tubs as they're growing up, and then they'll
Hell
be in
yeah.
nice display cages, like I have my coastals in now. They'll be in like nice display cages, and then the wintertime when it comes time to cool them down and stuff. Basically, what I'm gonna do is this thing that's behind me, this rack that has the ARS 80s in it.
Yeah.
Eventually, I'm getting or another ARS rack to just replace that. That's going to go out in the garage, and then
There you,
I'll put them out there to
yep.
cool them down. Because
Yep.
I'll put the coastals out there along with the blackheads out there.
Come on. Come on.
So I see those, and that's what I was going to point on too. We were talking about tubs and yada yada.
Yeah.
You look like you have pretty sufficient tubs. So what is the 80? What is it? I'm a vision guy.
ARS. It's ARS.
Yeah, the ARS 80. It's like the same length as like say like a CB70 or a V70.
Like the boa vision tubs, like the big boa.
A little bit, but they're about the same length as the V70s, and then they're like 2 feet wide, and they're about like 9 inches deep.
I got you. I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, and they have the clear plastic on the front, which is nice.
I do like the clear plastic for sure.
Yeah.
But no, I've heard Kevin of like there's actually a few people here in Florida that breed outside all year round with the diamonds. Well, they keep them outside all year round.
Yeah.
And then they breed too out there, and it's easy. You just go out there and collect your eggs, and then bring them inside and incubate them. But I've heard there's quite a few guys that are actually it's starting to be a common thing here in Florida. A lot of the diamonds love our weather, supposedly too.
Yeah. What do you think about that? Do you think that it's like obviously it's their own discretion, whatever? But what do you like? If you didn't live in a suburban neighborhood, would you do that?
I don't know, because I'm just such a control freak, and I really like having my animals inside in a display.
I got you.
I may have like a cage out there that maybe they can go and hang out.
Right.
I just kind of I like the way my setup is, and I would probably still keep them indoors, just maybe in the summer. Give them some time outside. But I know guys in like South Florida, they can keep them out there all year long. I don't know of a lot of people doing it, but I do know Crutchfield's been pretty successful with it.
Hell yeah.
When he was living down there. I think he was
Well,
down
they
in
just give them
Wilson.
heated boxes and stuff, right? Stuff like that.
I don't even think they
don't have to for the winter. Our winter don't get that cold. Yeah.
Okay.
The coldest I'm getting
when it like this winter that we had when it was like 20 something degrees out, they'd have to come in.
You bring them in, but that's like
that's what I'm getting.
But you bring them in for one night, and literally the next day, in the middle of the day, you can take them out because it's only going to be cold for us here in Florida at nighttime. For me, my cold's only when I hit below 27 or 25. It's at nighttime, which is easy for me to bring with my bearded dragons and shit like that. I have outside enclosures and I have inside enclosures. I have a whole zoo over here, so I like to have them.
What's too cold for one of those? Like, what is considered too cold for that species?
I guess it would be close to freezing. I mean,
Look,
they can tolerate the 40s no problem, probably even
Okay.
up to
Oh
30s.
wow. Okay, that's awesome.
Yeah, I mean,
from what I've been
yeah,
told, but nothing below 30. Like our bearded dragons, if I don't hit below 30, they stay outside pretty much.
yeah,
And
yeah,
That's
Australia, bearded dragons, it's all the same area, more or less, you know.
yeah, yeah.
That's
Yeah.
pretty cool. Well, we were talking about racks, and I got to give a quick shout out. We're about 35 minutes in, and we usually do it on that time. You know what I'm saying? Go to www.visionproducts.us.
Why did you even put that?
T Daisy.
Mark with Vision here. We're showing off the new Visionarium. See a couple examples here. These are going to be a new product from us coming out hopefully the end of the year. It is modeled off our V35 and V70 tub, 3x height. So we're doing about 15 inches on this. You'll have options for doors on one side or up to all four sides on each of the tubs. We got vents on the front and the back. You will have options for windows as well if you just want that instead of the doors. We'll have perforated options and glass options. This was the V35. This is going to be the V70, so you get a little bit bigger option. We have a bearded dragon set up here and a pixie frog in this one. Show a little bit of versatility of using it for a desert species versus tropical. We have lids that are built in as well. These are going to have options for your lighting. These are going to be a halogen light or an LED light, and they will snap into the lid. C5 lighting, other UVB and halogen lighting options. Options will be available for misters, temperature probes, and fans, depending on what the customer wants.
Come on. Go to www.
You already know where to go for the vision.
Come on.
That's
sick though, Kevin.
And
You got some carpets over there for sure. I like that. That's definitely up my
Yeah,
my
yeah. I'm
alley.
hoping to get a clutch this year. I've got a red coastal female that I got from Jason Balin,
Let's
and she's
go.
been breeding with a. This is a long name. It's a outcrossed It's a Russian tiger crossed with a Balin tiger. Coastal carpet.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and it gives them a lot of from the Russian influence. There's a lot of tipping in it and a lot of kind of almost granite-y kind of color to it. So and it has some real cool
Brings it
color.
out a lot.
Yeah, and then I've had another just a regular Balin coastal tiger in there, and both of them have gotten locks on her. So and she just had a shed probably about 2 weeks ago. She looks really, really nice. Almost kind of like with ball pythons, how they glow before they go.
Yep.
She's got that look. Her appetite is insane right now, and the males are still, after. So I'm hoping to see an ovulation in a couple weeks or so from her. That would be nice.
Come on.
So, and honestly, it'd be the first time I've bred them again since 2001, since that first clutch I had.
Let's go.
Yeah, I took a couple good years off. I had something, happen in my life, but that made me do it pretty much. But now I'm getting back into it, and I'm happy as hell to be doing it again. Did you notice a lull for it, or a lull in your life, like wanting to do it the whole time you weren't doing it?
Yeah, because I've kind of taken two breaks. So basically, I kept from like 1990 to 2001, and then 2001. Right before we found out we were having our first daughter, decided to take a break from it. Then sell a lot of the animals and stuff, so we get into an apartment, get settled in, and that only lasted like a year and a half. And I ended up picking up a green shoe python at a show.
Yes,
and that just started the ball rolling. So that was like 2003 till and then I had the green tree just as kind of like a pet. Then I ended up actually, getting some female ball pythons to raise up. And then I ended up buying like in 2004, I bought a pastel for like $1,000. And that started my adventure into ball python breeding. And it was pretty fun. I did that through to 2010. It was nice because I was able to use the money from ball pythons to get other species I like more green trees, and I was able to actually produce, hatch out 2 clutches of green trees.
Those green trees you got are amazing.
Thank you. Yeah.
I really like, if I had, hopefully in the near future, within the next few months, I'll be able to have the opportunity to keep different species because I'll actually have the time to dedicate to it.
Yeah.
But I really want to get into those, so that because they are so mind blowing the way they look, dude. I mean, the green,
they're just beautiful.
Those colors, like those purples and stuff that you have on that green one, and we had a picture on, what was that, the LMK show or RWO show, whatever. And it was so green and like purple and yellow and man.
Yeah. They're hard not
to like. Get a carpet. Don't get a green tree, get a carpet.
Yeah.
How do you keep your green trees?
The green tree hobby seems to be going, or let me call it the chondro hobby, is a lot of
the chondros.
Yeah,
they want to make it fancy.
It's going the same way as ball pythons anyway, so
well, I don't even want to breed them. I
came close to getting them, but I can say, like, I don't know, it was something about the carpets, and now I'm like, my poplin, I have branches all in there for her and everything. And I come in my room,
is nice, bro.
Yeah, really and I come in my room, and it's hanging on the branches just like a green tree would. You know, it's chilling, hanging. I mean, it looks sick to me. I'm like, that looks better than a green tree. You know, all the patterns and the blushing and everything. It's like, man, come on.
Yeah, Morelia in general make great display animals. They really
do.
The carpets, the carpets, whether it's the carpets, the green tree pythons, or even the rough scale pythons.
The rough scales are sick too. Yep.
Yeah, those are. I mean, the eyes on those things.
Look, Phil, he's in the house.
They make good display animals. They really do.
We got Phil down there shouting out. He's
hating on the green trees. They are gorgeous. Their heads and everything, like you said, the eyes on them, they're great. But it just he was like,
I love them, like I said,
everybody.
My taste is like all over the place. Like, I love the big slug blood pythons, but I also love like the very the skinniest ones you can get, which are Amazon.
And I'm gonna be honest, dude. I'm gonna be
fat guys. You know, them short tails are fat. You know,
I'm a straight up guy.
As a guy that used to.
It just it's not eye appealing to me. Some of the bloods, they're beautiful, like the patterning and the coloring, but like they don't do anything. Like they don't do anything, bro. They just sit there. But that's why they're so big, because they're not.
But if you take them out, you interact with them. I'm telling you,
they're pretty active.
They are just like retics. They are no
really.
Trust me, I've kept my fair share of retics. That was
I've heard Kyle told me about
that was my main species I kept throughout the 90s. I'm telling you, like, now I will say it's today's blood pythons. Now, I had blood pythons, like I said, I had Borneos back in 93, and that same year I also got my first actual blood pythons. They were imports, sub-adults, absolute insane. Savages. These guys were just, man, they carried you up. I'll never forget, got me in the hand one time, left all kinds of teeth in there, and just, they deserved their reputation back then. The ones nowadays, because of all the pioneers, guys like Keith McPeak, or, ladies like Tracy Barker and, Kara Norris, really put, a good foundation for blood pythons, that we have these amazing animals now, because most of them are really tame. You've just got to get them through that baby stage where they're super defensive because they think everything's going to eat them. They come out of the egg,
that's good though.
Straight fire, man. They are. Feisty.
That's good though. That means you ain't gonna have a problem getting them on food or anything.
Yeah.
So
they come out pretty feisty, but you work with them. You get them in that routine, and then you work with them, and they settle down. And I do my best with the last group that I had, and then this one I'll do the same thing of working with them. Taking a little bit of time to kind of, I don't want to say socialize them, but really just get them used to the routine.
Well, that's a good point, because that's what I wanted to ask, because everybody you see is terrified to pick them up, right? So Kyle was asking in the comments, you probably know Kyle, he's all over the place.
Oh yeah.
And he wants to know if you have one that you can bring out and show us possibly. Is that a thing?
Yeah.
I mean, we're all about snake and tail around here, man. So And I want to prove to everybody that and you can go watch Bosa's videos. He holds all his. And they're not as bad as what people think. Like I know we have old shows where we do the RWO a year, 2 years ago now, or a year and a half ago, and they wouldn't pick them up. They'd be like, no, they get these big gloves on and shit. And I'm like, dude, you look like a bitch. I ain't, I'm being nice about it, but you look pretty silly.
Look at that beast, bro.
This is my big T-negative albino girl.
Jesus.
That's beautiful, though. That is okay. That's
this girl is the most gentle snake, or tied for the most gentle snake. That retic I had as my second snake ever. He was unreal. These two are equal, and she's just gorgeous.
It's just chilling, dude.
I'll put her on my lap, and she'll just chill, and she'll be tongue flicking around.
I didn't realize they got that long. Like, how long is that one?
She's probably about 6 feet.
See, I didn't realize they got that long. That's crazy.
I kind of grew this girl a little bit bigger than I wanted to, though. For my breeders, for like all my holdbacks and stuff, I'm raising them up to be a little bit smaller. So when I get to them, when they're about I don't know, this group, when they got to 18 months, I put them on their adult feeding schedule.
I like the look of that one.
Normally I wouldn't do it till maybe 2.5 years. But with blood pythons, they just put size on so quick, just like the giant. They're really just like a giant snake in a short package. And
but see, to me, that looks better. If you haven't had a
lot of experience with the giants, that extra length, it makes a huge difference. It is, having the experience myself, it really is something to deal with because it can wrap around things and stuff.
Right.
And they're strong as shit, bro. They're super.
To me, it looks better. Like I rather have it look long like that than short. Like that looks good. Like I like the look of that. Like that is sick. Like compared to when they're like short, only like 2-3 foot, and they're like that girth on them. You're like, Like I like how that had the length. Like you got 6 foot right there. Like that's sick. That is bad.
So what was the damn genes of that? Okay, no, screw those. What?
That's sick.
That one is a T positive albino.
Okay.
This one here, this is my Karma Pixel. It's the first in the world. So it's a Karma. So it's a double het for T-pos and T-negative albino. And the way I like to describe Karma for some people, and honestly, it's DG for blood pythons.
Really?
Yes. Okay. So it basically is a cleaner. It makes them, acts almost as like a hypo, where it just really cleans them up.
Damn.
But with the G-stripe pattern to it.
That is the best comparison. See, when you talk to us like we're stupid ball python people, we like that. That's what we like.
Ball pythons. Mine are just very basic because it's for me, my ball python group is all about sentimental,
And so that was the world's first that you produced?
Yeah. I hatched her out 2 years ago in 2024.
That's pretty. Is that been kind of like life changing in the world of blood?
No, nobody's paid any attention to it, honestly.
Yeah, and I wanted to point that out, everybody.
15 years ago, if I had popped that out of a clock shit, would have been like a huge deal.
Huge deal.
Nowadays, people just blow it off. It's I don't know.
I think that's the ball python game
because it's so incredible. Like that's one of the things I'm looking forward to Daytona this year. Is I've got 2 big display cases that I got, so that way I can bring my Karma Pixel and my Karma Goldeneye to Daytona as 2-year-old animals to show how colorful they are, so that you can go up. I do my best to take good photographs, but there's certain, like the peaches and the pinks and stuff are real hard to get to show up that are the blushing and stuff, and really just seeing how clean they are. It's I don't know, something that I for me, it's a project that I lucked into. My female was not known to be my female Batik, which produced them. she was known to be het for T negative, and it turns out that she's also het for T positive. We found that out through that clutch was a split clutch. So to her, I bred a goldeneye ivory male that was het for T positive albino, and I bred a goldeneye that was het for T negative albino. End up getting a split clutch. Two were sired by the T-Pause animal, and I got a T-Pause 007 out of that, and I got a Matrix that was possible hets.
Yeah, I saw that 007 on your Instagram. That shit looks cool as hell, man.
Yeah, she's beautiful, but man, does she hate going outside.
I can't wait to see you.
You know, she like if you
go. Well, it might be the color, like the gene.
What's that? I couldn't hear.
I said it might be because of you said it's a T something or another, but it's albino pretty much, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so
I don't know if it's that, because she's used to, like, I'll take photos in here and I have bright lights inside. She doesn't think anything of it. Something about outside, you know. I've had a few other animals before that are kind of startled by that, you know, because I do try to I don't know. I like handling my animals. Like a lot of breeders, they don't think of them as like pets, or they don't handle them as much. My bigger ones I do, because that's my chance to kind of, you know, check them out for, make sure everything's good. And honestly, just to look at the detail that's in the pattern. You know, when I'm handling it, it's not.
Come on down to Alabama.
I'm just like, you know, zoned in on the different patterns and stuff. So
what was the question of the night that's been on my mind? What was this clutch you just had pipped today, man? If y'all don't know, go to his Instagram and look at this, because they look pretty cool coming out. They got like a reddish look, right?
Yeah, so that one that's coming out, I believe, is going to be, it's a T positive albino, and it's going to be a combination of Batik, Goldeneye, and Matrix, which they call the Batik and Goldeneye make a pixel. So it's just a pixel matrix. So it should be really reduced pattern, just basically some speckling on the side. It'll look really, really nice. I'll grab a T positive 007 that I have.
Awesome.
This is the girl.
Like they said 007. Like I used to play that.
Bro, Justin, wait till you see this 007 stuff, dude. It'll make you want one. Yeah, who knows? I might go home from Daytona with a blood. I got an extra animal plastic 6-footer in there.
There you go.
Yeah, I don't want blood. They're nice, but
they're an impressive animal that you can like win people over with if you can make it tame like that, right?
Well, this girl, if you look at that post that I posted of her recently, if you go all the way to the end, you'll see I put 2 photos of my arm that she shredded up the first time I took her outside. This last time she was much behaved, but you can see she's chill. You know, she's a chill snake.
Well, it's like he said, it's for and people can have that, like me, for instance. I can have something like that, which is big and impressive, but I can't have big snakes because of my locality or where I'm at, my state, right? So I think that for people that live in a state, a blood python looks like a really good option if you want a retic or something big with weight, you know what I mean? And you can bring it out and show your friends and it'd be impressive and, you know, stuff like that. I think that'd be cool, because like that first one that he showed is a simple.
Yeah, there's a carpet right there.
Yeah,
baby.
This is a Balin tiger from Jason Balin himself. The tiger
Let's
king.
go. That is
golly, look at the stripe on it. It almost looks like the stripe on it. The pattern looks like my IMG boa.
I love IMG stuff.
Yeah, I got a jungle IMG het snowmaker.
I like that.
Yeah.
Whatever the fuck that means.
This guy has done some breeding. He was actually just locked up 3 days ago. I separated him, and I'm going to pair him back up again tomorrow as we have a front coming through.
Come on.
Yeah, I've never seen one, Dustin, like that. I've never seen a carpet like that. That looks insane.
Yeah, that is sick.
So what gives the carpets the different look? Is it the locality or where they're from or something? Or is it actually genes?
Well, with coastals, yeah, there are genes involved.
Okay.
Like, Yeah, like that one is a tiger, which is a dominant gene.
Okay. That's wild. Look at that. That's what I'm talking about, Justin. That is sick. Like, could you imagine having that in your living room, bro?
Yeah,
It's cool.
And
They're
like
nice.
big
this
ass.
is just in its grow up tub. It'll get into a display tub as it gets older.
I like it, but like they're sick. They're definitely sick. Green trees are
Yeah, and
definitely sick.
they're actually fairly easy to take care of.
Yep.
You know,
Justin asks, how many different snake species are you working, guy? Damn.
I don't know.
That's too many.
Boas,
That's
balls, coastal carpets, Woma pythons, blackhead pythons, diamond pythons,
So you just got some
green tree
diamonds.
pythons,
Yeah.
Amazon tree boas. I don't know. I think that's it.
I lost you at 4. I'm
Yeah.
kind of been
Yeah, I
drinking
think that's
tonight.
it. Yeah. Oh no, olive python. I got olive pythons.
You have olive pythons?
Yeah, I have.
Those are cool.
I have found
my
a
male's
new
not here yet, but I
fascination.
got a female.
Hell yes.
I got her from Dennis McNamara, and this is actually one of my favorite species.
I really like them lately. I've definitely been
cool.
looking at them a lot more in the past few months, and it's cool.
That's cool. Yeah, I like that. All that solid color with just
They're silky. Like they have a purple, satiny kind of iridescence to them, and their scalation is so fine that they feel like velvet and silk. They're just
no way they feel like that, bro.
yeah.
That's
No,
cool.
they do. It is like
Are you gonna have stuff like that at Daytona?
What's that?
Are you gonna have stuff like that at Daytona?
No, at Daytona we'll only have probably the bloods, the boas, and hopefully some blackheads and carpets. These guys.
Look, Kevin said chondro and rogue popped up.
Yep.
But no, them olive pythons are sick, man. Like I've been looking at them and stuff, and I don't know, man. I really like those. That's why I was asking if you're gonna have them.
No, I just got that one, and I have a male coming from Eric Kohler. He's a breeder out of Pennsylvania. My guard Serpents, really good dude. And
so
that's just a future project for me.
Okay, cool. I seen you grabbed a tool of some sort before you got the next snake out. Do you want to explain what you just did?
What I'm doing is just letting her know that I'm not food.
There you go.
This is a Macklot's python.
That's a Macklot's.
Really iridescent looking. I really like the Liasis pythons, which that's olives, Macklots, Savus, Waters, and Duns.
Macklots are sweet. I got to hold my first one at Kyle.
Cool, man.
That thing was freaking amazing. That thing was beast too, but
I don't think I've ever seen one of those, man. I really
never seen a Macklots.
I like that.
But they have pretty aggressive, especially it's nighttime. So they have pretty aggressive feeding responses.
Say feeding responses.
Basically what I do is I just kind of caress her with a hook and then just kind of go in and pick her up my hand. Honestly, it doesn't work good with blood pythons. Blood pythons, you just got to reach in there and with confidence and go for it.
Go for it.
Yeah.
Don't reach toward the face of a blood python.
They don't like you coming over the top. See if you can kind of scoop under. You know?
Yeah.
If you can scoop under them. But
are you gonna have a big impressive blood that I can hold in Daytona and take a picture with you? Because I ain't never held a blood.
That Karma Batik that I brought out, that'll be about the size that I have them.
Okay. I've never held a blood python ever. I don't have any friends that fuck with bloods or, I'm interested in them. You know what I mean? Like I said, I really might go home with one because you seeing that one that you showed the first one.
Yeah, that was impressive.
That's impressive, bro.
Yeah.
And it's beautiful. And it's a single, it's not single gene. I don't really know if that's the correct term, but
it is like just a single gene. You know, she's really the first morph of blood python that was reproduced was the T-Paws albinos. You know, I have an old reptiles magazine from 1996 when they were on the cover, and back then, it just like to me, it's still the exact same snake as when I freaked out in '96. So it's the same reason why the only ball python I had held back this year was a female albino, just because again in '92 I was just blown
Dusty.
away, only seeing normal ball pythons. I'd never seen an albino in picture. So to see it in person, it had such an impression on me that I'm like, I want an albino to keep.
Come on.
Kind of
Yeah,
same thing with the
and
pieds too.
that's what
You
I'm
know.
saying. Like, hold on a minute. There's pied bloods.
Oh, there are pied blood pythons. Yeah,
I know
there
there's
are.
piedism is for everybody that don't know is a occurrence that can happen even in humans. It can happen in any animal, right?
Yeah,
Like any living thing. Technically, you have pied plants as well, and that's the ones that are. Damn, if Kiko's in the chat, he's gonna shun me. But what is that? Variegation, some shit. Okay, I don't want to mess it up.
dude, I
But
don't know anything about plants, so
yeah,
go
well,
ahead.
I've just recently got into plants, but yeah, pinism is something that can happen in anything. It's just like
Yeah.
just recently I started seeing more about what is it, pied berms
Yeah,
and stuff like that. So I'm curious to what a blood pied looks like. So I'm gonna have to really
go to Juggernauts
okay, juggernauts.
Instagram.
Okay, yeah,
Juggernaut's
I'm
working with
familiar.
him. Yeah,
Okay,
he's got some, and he's got some. Juggernaut has some amazing stuff. Like right now he's kind of like as far as like the morph game and stuff goes, um, he's kind of at the top of it right now at the morph game.
right.
He's killing it with his druid stuff and those super druids, which are the leucistics that have like this black
Oh,
pigment that comes in. Yeah,
oh.
those things are
Is there
sick.
is there what's a black like a melanistic? Is there a melanistic blood?
That would just be the species. That would be the Sumatran short-tailed python. You can get some. They vary. You can get some that are just going to be completely jet black with orange eyes. They look sick. Um,
Really?
yeah, and they're actually the smaller of the three short-tailed species. Not by much,
Really?
but
See, that's
technically
funny
they're
because
smaller.
in like monitors, the melanistic lit thing is bigger.
Yeah,
One of
yeah.
the
For
bigger
them,
ones.
but
So
for
that's
them,
good.
it's
That's
not. See,
cool.
with the monitors, the melanistic is a gene. With
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
the
Okay, okay.
Sumatran
So you're
short tail,
talking
with in the short tails, the black ones they're just it's just a locality, not a locality, but
there
a
you go.
species.
And there's that.
Yeah,
See, that's why I was wondering about locality with what is that, carpets? Because I
yeah,
knew I did do
yeah,
some kind of type of research, people.
yeah.
But I do know that there's localities definitely in that. So you want to speak on that for a second? I mean, what is all of the localities of bloods and how does that work?
Well, as far as it's not so much localities as it is just species. So you've got the main species is blood pythons, which is Python brongersmai. You can find those in Sumatra, in Malaysia, into Southeast Asia, even like I think they've even found some in Thailand. And then then the next one would be like, say, the Borneo shorttails. Those are Python brightensteini. They're strictly found on the island of Borneo. Then the other ones are the Sumatran pythons. And the Sumatran pythons, those are Python curtis. And they're actually broken up into two two localities that I am curious if there's going to be more work to see if they're separated because your northern Sumatran pythons have a color that's more similar to Borneo's, where they call them orange heads because they typically have a yellow head or like an orange. Some of them have a really nice pumpkin orange head, and they have more of a brown pattern. Whereas the southern Sumatran pythons, they are generally black or chrome, like silver, like a silver gray.
What?
They call them black, so they call them chrome heads. Um, they have
Damn, dude.
especially when they're fired up. The silver on their head just shines like chrome. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful animals.
So what do
So
you work primarily? You said the Sumatra. What did you say?
the ones that I work with are the blood pythons, Python brongersmai. Yeah.
Broader's my
Yeah,
okay.
I don't work with any of the Borneos or the Sumatran shorttails right now. And I don't see myself working with them going forward, maybe because I like the amount of space that I would use for my shorttails. Gonna use pretty much for the Karma project. My vision is like the white snakes. Okay, so the magpies. Everybody loves to see the baby magpies when they hatch out. The magpie blood pythons. What those are is they're a super version of the goldeneye, and they look nice. They're really white with black markings when they come out. And then when
Really?
they get old, as they get older, very rarely some will hold some really nice color, but most of them get real dirty, real smoky on top, and kind of darken up. I'm hoping with like the Karma, I can put that into those and clean it up the way you clean things up with DG and ball python.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
That's my goal with that.
So that's why you said that it does typically or basically what DG does for ball pythons.
Yeah, it can do
it'll
for
clean
blood
it
pythons.
up and make it.
Yeah. I mean, that's my theory. I like I said, I need these guys to get some more age on them because I've seen some older karmas that are just plain karmas. They don't have any other genes, and I've seen some young karma batiks, but we've never seen any. It's really hasn't gone beyond that. I think I've only seen one other karma golden eye posted, and it was a horrible picture, but you know.
It's weird. I have a question that popped up. What is a blood berm hybrid? Is that a thing? Should he do that?
I don't know if it's a thing. I'm sure somebody's done it. I know that there's ball python and
carpets, there's carb balls.
Well, there's
and
berm
borneo.
balls. There's all kinds
Yeah.
of hybrids.
Yeah,
I'm not a
berm-
hybrid fan, honestly. I'm not. I try to
I
be a
care
pure.
less, honestly. It doesn't bother me one way.
It don't bother me though. No, it don't.
like
bother me.
Yeah,
I like it.
I mean,
I like the berm balls. I like
Yeah.
what is that?
I like the
Eternal
carb
Horse?
balls.
I like
Yep.
in the Philippines or wherever he's at. I like what he does. Now he has
Yeah.
some cool like what is it? Jaguar berm balls or some
Yeah.
crazy shit. Like
Yeah.
that shit's sick. But like I'm not. I don't want to do it. I would have one as a pet, but I'm not breeding
Yeah.
for that.
I mean, that's
No.
that's
Well,
really
most
all they
hybrids
are.
aren't. Most hybrids aren't rebreedable. Some of them are.
That's
but
true. That's
most
true
of them
too.
Yeah, like it
Once you make
depends
them,
how
that's it.
far. It depends how far away they are. Like, like I know one of the common ones are walls, which are the womas bred
Wall
with ball
balls.
pythons. I'm
Yep.
actually going for it this year. I've got an extra female.
Make some wall
I've
balls.
got an
Let's
extra
go.
male, and I've got a female woma that I've twice used her shed skin to scent the female, and I did it in 2010 with a male woma and a female ball, but the eggs they started
You got to do it the other way.
Yeah, 2 weeks before hatching, and they just went downhill. And that's one of the things that's difficult with hybrids is just getting fertile eggs and then getting them to hatch. So I don't know. I'm giving it a shot. I honestly, it's a old girl that I produced back in 2010. It was actually the last clutch of eggs I hatched out of my last generation of animals, and it was a pairing that I did with a buddy of mine, George. He had a fire male. I had a really nice pastel female, and back then fireflies were still like 1,500 a pop.
Yeah.
They were like one of the top things. So we ended up doing that breeding. We got 3 fireflies. I gave him the 2 females, and I kept the male, and then all the other stuff, and sold everything along with the rest of my collection at that time. But my buddy George, hung on to that female, and when I got back in, he gave her back to me. So she's just been chilling as a pet, and I was like, you know what? Why not try it? If it works, cool. They'll be pretty.
I mean, yeah, and that's anybody's prerogative, right? Like it is what it is. The whole thing. Let's be honest. Our whole thing is breeding animals. If you're doing that, it's a science experiment. The whole thing, right?
Yeah.
You're doing something that really you shouldn't be. Not that you shouldn't be doing it, but it's not nature, right? It's not out in the wild. So you are controlling this environment. So it's a science fucking experiment in reality.
Yeah.
So
my buddy Billy says
you can
just keeping snakes in boxes.
If you can play with it. Yeah. If you can play with it, I say do it. But like for me, I just don't. It's not. first of all, I can't even breed berms. I can't have them or have anything to do with them at all. Even if it was a berm ball, like in my state, and I think Florida, you can't have a berm ball in Florida, can you?
No, God no.
No,
I can have a
I
card ball
actually
though.
want one.
I
Honestly,
can have a card ball though.
Yeah. The only one I'm really interested is in the wall thing, and that's for me. And if I get any babies to sell, they're gonna be like $500 pet only babies because they're infertile.
yes,
With the
that's what
rules
They're
here,
Chris
not a
was
the
fertile
rules,
saying.
hybrid.
They can't
I
breed.
don't know if
Yeah,
you
they're
know,
just
Kevin, but the rules here are kind of weird because I mean, I have my class 3 and stuff, but even when I look up for carpets, it's kind of like I don't know how they put it with our rules for us, but it's kind of like, oh, you can't have it, but you can have it type deal.
That's why I called the fucking commissioner to my fishing game in Alabama, and I got him on the phone. He messaged me and everything back like that. They will message you back and they'll answer all that shit, dude.
But it was really weird because I was kind of curious when I was first getting, but I was like, man, I know so many people in Florida that have carpets. Like there can't be, and then when I look it up, it's like, oh no, you can't. And then when I asked my officer, he's like, it really depends on the situation. This. He's like, but we can be kind of picky on it. And I was like, what?
They get long.
Like a weird fine line you're walking on with carpets. Then is like we're just walking on a fine line.
Yeah, not with carpet pythons. No, carpets across the board are good to go in Florida. The hang up is with scrub pythons.
Scrubs.
Scrubs.
You cannot keep Morelia or now it's Somalia amethystina in Florida, but you can keep certain scrub pythons, which would be Somalia tracyi, which is the Halmahera python, Somalia clausolepis, which I used to have. I had a pair of them before they became, before the whole scrub issue came up. But apparently you can actually keep those now, which is the Moluccan scrubs, but good luck finding them.
Right.
And then the other ones are the Tannenbar scrub pythons, Somalia nata. Those they're also legal to keep. But that's where, if you talk to Fish and Game, that's where it's a shade of gray, because they may just still consider those three as scrub pythons, period, even though they're not scientifically labeled with amethystina. They may just, that's where that slippery slope is.
Every state has that gray, weird area. Like you can't have crocodilians here. If you look up Alabama, it says you're not allowed to have any crocodilian species. No alligators, no crocodiles, no nothing. Not even with a fucking permit. Unless you're in the Montgomery Zoo, you ain't having them. Yeah, but not even if you have to be like the Montgomery Zoo to be able to have a crocodilian. Yeah. But you can have a caiman.
Oh, so you can have a caiman.
Caiman's a crocodilian, though.
That's a crocodilian, but if you look it up online, that's why I called the fucking commissioner, bro. I was like, I'm not playing around. I got his text messages on. Like I talked to this dude. Like I ain't playing. Like I ain't gonna not know.
Well, they don't play when they come over. I mean, it's normally the same two guys. It's an older guy and a younger guy, and they come pulling up in their truck. I mean, they have their cameras on. They come in here popping open bins. They don't.
Oh, people don't
know. They own the place. They're really cool people, though. I haven't had any problems with them. They've been really nice to me. But I can say they will come in here acting like their own, and they're like, first thing they're always like, "Where's your venomous?" I was like, "Venomous? You mean hog noses? Oh, they're right here."
People don't realize that Fish and Game has the same authority as the FBI, bro, and the DEA. They can literally walk into your crap and do whatever they want, and that's the truth. They can arrest you like police. They're like that status, is what I'm saying. So the best thing to do is to do right and contact your Fish and Game or anybody, personally, if you have any questions about your state species, because internet jazz is not true all the time, and there's those gray areas. And I'm actually glad y'all brought that up, and you brought that up because there are those gray areas, and I always tell people, look it up, call the number, talk to the dude. He will talk to you.
Yeah,
it's weird here in Florida because I can say I've also talked to people like further down south that I'm like, hey man, because when I was first getting my class, I'm like, what do I do here? What do I do here? What do I do here? And I had reached out to a handful of people, and some of them were like, man, I ain't never had them come to my house in like 2 or 3 years. I'm like, wait, what? I mean, these guys have been in my house religiously every freaking time. So I feel like different areas for sure.
What
I'm in
class permit do
Jacksonville.
you have?
I'm my class 3. I'm just my regular. Yeah, but I'm in Jacksonville. I'm in Jacksonville, and FWC here. We have so much boats and so much. They do not play over here in Jacksonville.
Yeah,
they do not. Like even when it comes to fishing, or anything.
Yeah.
When we go out on my boat, there's almost every time I go out on my boat, I watch a boat get seized. Every time I go out on my boat.
That's why Justin don't want to take King Dingaling over here out on the water during Daytona because they
do not play. Like FWC in Jacksonville, man, you don't fuck around.
Boats have zero tolerance across the board. Like you can't even drink on a boat for real.
Yeah.
And my grandfather owned Christopher Marina in East Placa, so I know a handful of the guys for sure. And I can say a couple names, and they're like, "Oh hell yeah," you know. But you could lose your shit real. And these young kids that go on Rich Daddy's boat and get out there drinking, and they're seizing the boat and telling Daddy, "Oh well, you ain't getting your boat back.
You ain't no Murdaugh. You ain't no Murdaugh. Your ass is going to prison."
I watched $300,000 boats, $500,000 boats. Gone. That thing's going to the auction in a few weeks, bro.
They deserve to have that boat take if they take $500,000. But you know what's not $500,000 is our new sponsor that I am proud to present after a long-awaited. We're changing sponsors, right? We can do that because we can do whatever we want. This is our show. So new Substrate, people. Go to Chris at BNS Reptilia, Coco to go in the chipper, baby. Let's do it.
Come on.
And y'all know I don't promote stuff unless I use it first. I had Chris send me a bag of both. I tried them out. I'm a Coco to go guy. The chipper's for there too. Ken, LMK Reptiles, he likes the chipper. Whatever your preference, but I do recommend you go try one of those out.
And you get the 18-pound bags with Coco to go, and you get the 10-pound blocks with the chipper. I mean, you can't go wrong with either or, you know. I like the 18-pound bags too. I'm a Coco to go guy for sure.
Do you use Substrate or do you use paper towels?
I use a mix of everything. So
like Justin will have the front of the bin like paper towels or something, and then the back will be Coco.
Yeah. No, I mean I use the same thing in each cage. It's just like say my display cages. I use cocoa bedding with sphagomoss mixed in. I feel like with the radiant heat panels and the cages, the cocoa bedding can dry out pretty quick. Yeah, so that's something where the sphagomoss helps keep the moisture in there.
That's good to know.
Display cages, I use that. My tubs, honestly, I've gone to paper. The craft paper, the texture craft paper. That's worked really good. For certain animals, I'll just use. I have a few animals that I use like shredded aspen bedding. That's for like the womas and.
So they like the shredded aspen, a Woma python.
Yeah, kind of like it's like a burrowing substrate, and it's drier than the.
So you want those drier? That's what I'm getting at. You don't, like you said, you don't want a lot of humidity. What's the humidity for a species like a Woma?
I don't even know, to be honest with you.
Just a big enough water tub, or
I've been keeping for 36 years. I pay zero attention to humidity, other than my tropical species get sprayed every once in a while. Like my bloods and my green tree pythons, they'll get sprayed down twice a week.
Do you have to keep like a big water reservoir in the aspen for those animals, or nothing like that?
No, matter of fact, even for my cages, I use the same, like
deli cups,
the PVC coupler with a deli cup.
There you go. Nice.
And that works. That works pretty good for all of them. Even the big cages, they don't really tip them. I found that the bloods could sometimes tip them over, so I got some small plastic bowls, dog bowls from Tractor Supply for them.
I have to use a dog bowl for my boa for sure.
Yeah, my boas actually, they do a good job. They don't knock them over either. Although the one female that's dealing with the ovulation, um, the leading up to it for like 4 days leading up to it, dude, she has just trashed her cage. She's like, she's got one of these big giant hide boxes in there. She's knocked it around back and forth. She's constantly knocking the water over because she's doing this thing where she's like stretching out and like twisting her body to kind of like, you know,
Push them out.
push them out and stuff. And it's like, yeah, she's I've never seen her make a mess like that before, but it's a good sign because I'm hopefully means that ovulations. I think I saw her ovulating tonight, so
boas are
earlier today.
messy anyway. Like even when they poop, but I can imagine when they give birth, bro.
What's that?
Like boas, right? When they give birth, is that what you're talking about? It's ovulating a boa?
No, the ovulation is like just like when a ball python ovulates.
No, yeah, I know that, but I'm
Yeah.
saying you said that they destroy their cage, and I'm saying I can only imagine a live birth from a boa, the afterbirth being everywhere in the cage and it being disgusting.
It is disgusting, yeah. It's not everywhere though. It's localized to this little spot. It's gooey and messy though. You know, I mean
Yeah, I know my buddy at
it's definitely a
Boa
different
Fiend in
experience.
California. He sent me mine, and he sends me videos. He posts videos of
Yeah.
it, and it looks really messy. And I'm like, he's like, you need to breed boas, and I'm like, bro,
Yeah.
I don't really know. Like, I don't
Yeah.
really know.
Yeah. For me, it's a little bit more stressful, the boas, because you just stress the whole, because she's holding those babies the whole time, you know. With the
Yeah,
pythons, they're holding those eggs for 30 days and then they're ditching them and then we're taking over from there. So they get a whole, you know, their responsibility time is shortened up by 2+ months, you know,
Right.
whereas the boas, they're, you know, the good thing is the boas will stay on feed so you can still feed them. You know, you just got to give them a little bit smaller meals maybe,
sure.
and don't feed them like, for me, I don't feed it, you know, don't feed them for like maybe the last 3 weeks, you know, because you don't want to take a chance of, um, you know, sending them into premature labor or whatever.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Damn, that's good
So
to know. That's really
yeah,
good piece of
Wow.
information to
yeah,
know.
but yeah, it's definitely messy though. That's for sure. There's definitely very gooey.
And I would
But
think that if you're doing that, wouldn't you? I don't know. Is it hard to do it on substrate, or is it better to do it on paper towel or newspaper, or
I
when
I
they're
didn't change anything. I let her drop on the cocoa chip this
there? You go.
same stuff I had in there, because basically, you know, whenever I had, you know, for her, that was actually my first boa litter, first experience doing it. So I was going to treat it the same way as I do my pythons. When they lay, all the substrate gets taken out, everything's washed, she's washed, and all of that stuff to try and get the
Sure.
scent out
Yeah.
of there.
Okay.
So I wasn't worried about the mess. I mean, yeah, it's a little bit to clean up, but you just look at it as bedding change. You know,
Well,
not going to
it's
change anything.
bin, right? Is your boas in a? What are your boas in? Is it like the bin style, or is
No,
it?
they're in 4 foot by 2 foot by 14-inch cages.
Yeah, see, that's me, right? Like, I'm
Yeah.
not wanting to clean out that big ass cage. Mine's in a cage, like one of them big 6 foot animal plastics or
Yeah.
whatever, or
Yeah.
5. It might be 4 foot. Hell, I don't know, but it's
Yeah. Well, I mean, you technically don't have to clean the whole thing out, but you definitely got to clean the area out where they drop them.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
You
Yeah,
know,
'cause
and
the,
they do
the
kind of.
videos I see is on newspaper, and it's like it
Yeah.
looks like someone dropped a massive ostrich egg right in the middle and just threw it up against the wall
Yeah.
or something. Yeah, it's messy.
Yeah. 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 It's definitely a different experience than I enjoyed. I love my boas, but I prefer pythons. I prefer the eggs. I like today when I saw that little baby peeking that head out, I was like,
It's
oh
so
man,
nice,
yeah,
bro.
dude, it's just like
That's
the
for
coolest thing in the
sure.
world, you know. And I don't care if you're hatching out just a normal corn snake. It's just seeing a baby snake is cool.
And for
Yeah.
Obviously, that
kids
out of me.
too, right? Like you
What's
said, you
that?
have Anna. You said you have kids. I imagine your kid, like kids, love that. It's like a
Yeah,
dinosaur egg, you
yeah,
know.
my kids they're grown now. They're, you know, I'm an older dude. So my
Uh,
kids are 24
well,
and
you look
22.
fabulous.
Thank you. Yeah, you know,
Come on. Come on.
clicking 53 this year. So
Jeez, I would have never
look it. You definitely don't look it. Yeah.
Thanks, man.
I would have never guessed that.
Yeah,
fart.
I mean, I don't really feel it, but you definitely, yeah. I mean,
if you're 53 and you don't feel it, then you're doing good because I'm 37 and I feel 63.
Yeah.
Okay.
The only time I feel it is if I don't go to the gym, and that's
there it is, people. That's why he looks so fabulous. He's buffed out.
If I don't work out, I have trouble because I grew up racing BMX and riding BMX at skate parks and also motocross.
I was gonna say you have a Kawasaki shirt on. I was gonna ask, what do you ride?
I'm a huge Team Green. My bike, I always had KXs.
Nice.
Yeah, I sold my bike 4 years ago. It just I got to a point where, one of my favorite tracks closed, and I don't know. I was just dealing with some health issues at the time too.
There you go.
I've
been looking at the Kawasaki Enduros and the Suzuki Enduros lately.
Yeah,
those are sick.
I wish I had maybe gotten into more trail riding, but I mainly did motocross tracks.
I was a 4-stroke guy. I used to race a fucking XR100.
Oh, really? Nice.
Yeah, hell yeah, nice. Dude. I used to love riding dirt bikes, dude.
That's what everything is now is 4-strokes. Like that's what I had was 4-strokes. My last bike was a KX 450F, and I went to that because I had blown up my 250F at a sand track. Basically the crankshaft snapped at the wrist pin with the piston, and then just everything, just destroyed the cases, spit everything into the transmission, and oh man, and
I bet it scared the hell out of you when that thing popped off, didn't it?
I was
right up under your.
I got really lucky with that, to be honest with you. I was literally heading back onto the track, and I smacked the throttle, and it went, and then all of a sudden I just heard, and then I just heard that sound in the middle. Oh God, that was horrible. Yeah. So after that, I was like, you know what, because I'm a 200-pound plus guy. Even in my leanest, I'm usually close to 200 pounds, and I'm only 5'8". I'm just a heavier dude.
And you was on a 250?
Yeah, the 250.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, and those deep sand tracks, like, I was putting that thing through it.
The last 2-stroke I had was like a 99 YZ. It was like a 150 or whatever, but it was bored out.
Yeah.
So I guess it was like a 210 or whatever it would have been. I can't do that. Was like when I was like 12 or 13. But I tell you what, those damn power strokes are like.
You're talking about when it hits the power band.
The power bands, yes, not power strokes. I'm thinking about diesels. When it hits that power band, that shit will literally put the fear of God into you, bro.
I went across the field like Superman on the back of a power band.
Hey, I'm telling you what, dude.
Literally, I was fucking. My legs were in the air, and I was like,
oh yeah, you'll see grown men get on like a little 80cc 2-stroke, and because it's so small, and they think they're just gonna get on it, and all of a sudden it just
hell no,
takes off and
all the way.
And I remember when I was growing up, I raced at High Falls FX track in High Falls, Georgia. That was the name of it. That's where we raced. And anyway, there was a dude there. Well, there was like different classes. So there was like, what is it, 450? There was like, there was big bikes out there, right? And I'm a kid. I'm probably, 11 or so. I'm not that tall, whatever. I remember getting on the back of my dad's truck, getting on the fucking top of like KTM 450s and shit, and going out there and just riding, not racing, but just playing on it, And man, those bikes, when I got off, I felt like I was in God mode because that is some power. I ride Harley Davidsons and shit, I've ridden Trogget, but like those dirt bikes, bro, they are scary fast, dude.
Yeah, it's because of the power to weight ratio, I mean, the power, especially the new 4-strokes, man, the fuel injection and stuff, it's just that power to weight ratio is insane, but yeah, it's those things are a part of my life as much as like reptiles are, but
for sure,
unfortunately the trauma they cause is a lot worse.
And they're a lot more, they're more expensive.
I mean, a nice piece of stainless steel in my shoulder here, my collarbone. I destroyed. God, I think that was like almost 10 years ago. Actually, yeah, next month will be 10 years ago. And so I've
Damn.
got like a full plate. I got 9 screws in the plate, and then I got one rando screw that's screwing a random bone chunk back
Well,
into
you
my
were trying to
collarbone.
raise hell in your 40s, bro. You can't do that.
I did it. I did it
And
till
you paid the price,
yeah,
mister.
but I did it till I was almost 50. I stopped at 49, and you know, but yeah, I started having some buddies that were getting out of it and stuff, and I was starting to get the itch more for I was even while I was out of keeping reptiles, I was still following stuff. And when I was having those some of those health issues, I had to kind of like chill out a little bit. Um, so I was listening to, I've listened to like a lot of podcasts and stuff, like some of the old podcasts. Um,
Talking
and
about old podcasts, we got the fat man in the house. What's up,
Come on.
you old
Come on.
fart?
Well, actually, guys, I got to get off here. So
Yeah, we do. And that's what I was going to say. We got to wrap it up. So,
all right, yeah,
Well,
sounds
I'm-
good.
I got my
Justin,
fight about to start, so I'm out of
he's
here.
look, Justin's a better. He bets, and I've been watching the clock because I figured he was doing that because it's Saturday night.
I got my bets running, homie. So
You know, and I didn't
it
want
was
to
nice
cut
meeting
him
you,
off.
Kevin. It was definitely nice meeting you and seeing all the
Yeah.
cool stuff. And guys in the chats. On that note, though, I'm out of here. Y'all guys have a great
All
night.
right, it was nice meeting you, man.
I'm gonna remove him.
Hey, man, I appreciate you having me on too, man. It was good. I like.
No, I mean, hey, I'll finish my beer. I'll get another beer. I don't care. Justin don't matter to me. It's all up, But yeah, we usually don't run too long because other people got shows and stuff.
Yeah, gotcha.
But I'm definitely gonna be backstage drinking my beer. But yeah, everybody in the chat, y'all kill it. And shout out to all the sponsors you've seen here. Go visit them, just see what they got to offer. And Kevin, I mean, what do you got? Like, what is your goals for 2026 as of right now in the snake breeding hobby?
Well, it's right now the biggest goal, I guess, is Daytona. Get everything ready for Daytona. Really, just as far as the production, that's really I've done everything I can do to give the animals what they want. I have a pretty good read on it. It's just a matter of whether they do their thing. One of the things I have is I do have a young group. I've pretty much raised all my animals up from babies, so I have a young group.
The way the most old school people do, they get babies and raise them up. And
yeah, just to me, it works out better that way. They're just used to my system. They're, I know more about them and I raise them the way I want to. It just works out better that way. I mean, I generally don't buy adults, but I bought a couple animals that are like 2-year-olds. Like I think the little diamonds will be almost 2-year-olds. The diamond pythons I picked up. One of the green trees I got her last year is a 2-year-old. But
so the future for you is all these different species you're talking about, right? I mean, you have them to breed. That's why you have them.
Yeah, exactly. Everything I have is, like I'm a hobbyist at heart. I just like keeping these animals, but I want to breed them. That to me is like a big part of it. I want to see those baby eggs. I want to see those babies, pop out of those eggs and stuff. And for like blackhead pythons, like I said, the first time I saw them, they were 15 grand a piece. I never thought I'd ever have a pair. So now,
I know, right?
to be able to, like, honestly, if for some reason she doesn't go this year, like if I've read it wrong and she's not gravid, it's no big deal.
No big deal.
I know that I got a compatible pair. They had lots of locks, had no problem breeding. She's gone through, the whole cycle and stuff. And so I know that I've got that experience under my belt, and we'll just tackle it next year.
Well, it's a dream animal, right? Like my monitor, my Asian water monitor. It was like it's a dream animal that I've always wanted. And if you get the opportunity to get it and you can keep it right, get it, people, because you're gonna even if it don't, you're not trying to breed it, or even if it don't produce that year and you did try to breed it, it's still not that big of a deal because you really have the passion for it. It's not that you and back to what you said a minute ago. You are a hobbyist at heart. We're all hobbyists at heart.
Yeah.
It always starts as a fascination, then it turns into a hobby, then it turns into you're breeding the shit, trying to
Yeah.
make some kind of money back to be able to pay for the animals and make it a full circle type deal.
Yeah, 100%.
You know, in reality, that I mean, anybody that says they don't want to make money doing it is lying.
100%. Yeah.
You should say it's no big deal if I don't.
Yeah.
Right. Because
it's no big deal if you do either. Like, I mean,
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You know, that's one thing is there's nothing wrong with, I mean, you put a lot of resources into these animals, you put a lot of your own personal sacrifice. And so there's nothing wrong with getting what you believe is fair market value for, you know, the work that you've put in.
Yeah, your time is valuable. Your time is the most valuable thing on this planet, right?
Yeah.
You can't never get back time.
Yeah. Yeah. So there's you know, there's nothing wrong with that, you know.
Well, I look forward to seeing those babies come out. And dude, in Daytona, we all go. I don't know if you know anything about the RWO, but it's the Reptile World Order, and you see on my hat. But we all go down to Daytona and we party. We get a house, we get a pool, you know, whatever.
Nice.
We're going to be there. So I can't wait to meet you in person.
Yeah.
And, you know, maybe drink a
beer
with you.
And I'm sure maybe we'll meet up sometime afterwards. And, you know, we pretty much hang out at the Hilton the whole weekend.
Yeah, we get a house because there's like a bunch of people. Like this year, I think it's supposed to be like 20-something people. It's wanting to do it, but we never know at the end of the last minute.
Yeah.
They'll just probably, you know, who knows. But we're supposed, you know, I guess it's last year when I went, we had a house, we ate good, we had a pool, you know,
nice.
we went to the show to see people and talk, and then we went back to the house and partied and swam and whatever, you know, and you know, you're more than welcome to come to the house. The hotel thing is, I don't know. I don't really like hotels because I like to do what I want. I like to smoke my cigarettes. I like to drink some green tea and, you know, maybe jump in the pool naked. Who knows?
Yeah.
You don't know. You don't know if you come to the RWO house. You don't ever know.
Nice.
But yeah, for sure. And I guess we'll go ahead and get ready to end this. And I'll be backstage. I'm going to drink some green tea and hang out. If you want to, you're more than welcome. If you have something to do, that's understandable too.
Yeah.
All the people in the chat, make sure y'all are watching all these other podcasts after the Sippin show. And don't forget, next Saturday we have R&R Reptiles, which she went live on TikTok tonight at 7, I think. 7 some standard time. I don't know the first letter. But yeah, everybody, don't forget next Saturday, Sippin show. Tuesdays, you have LMK show on LMK Reptiles on YouTube. Then on Thursdays, you have the RWO show on the RWO broadcast channel. Don't miss it. And hopefully I'll see you backstage, Kevin. Later.
All right, guys. Thanks for having me on. It was awesome.
For sure. Awesome. We'll have you on again.